Morning, everybody. About to get underway here with our first round of matches in the men's individual masters competition. Here's the format for today. We've got 8 players bowling in the quarterfinals. They are playing each other based on their seeding after the all events. So number 1, Marcelo Swartz bowls number 8, Alberto Lozano, and so on. And it's a 1-game match to determine who advances to the next round. After this game is over, they will re-oil the lanes, and the women will come in and get started with their opening round match. That'll be followed by the individual semifinals, the mixed doubles quarterfinals, the mixed doubles semifinals, and then our championship matches this afternoon. Again, 1-game matches. And the matchups in this round: Andres Gomez of Colombia versus Ernesto Franco of Mexico, Marcelo Swartz of Brazil versus Alberto Lozano of Costa Rica, John Perez of Puerto Rico versus Amleto Monticelli of Venezuela, and what will be our featured match early on here, Dan McClellan of Canada versus Steve Smith of the United States. And we will try to jump around and show you some action from all of the matches, and especially when a match gets close near the end, we will try to focus on those matches. Steve Smith will start the day. First frame, left lane is the medium pattern, and Steve starts with a strike. The right lane is the short pattern. Here's Amleto Monticelli versus John Perez. Once again, you're going to see them playing different parts of the lane with different bowling balls potentially. The right lane, which Dan McClellan is up on right now, is the short pattern. The left lane, the medium pattern. John Perez in the first frame starts off with a ring 7. Dan McClellan of Canada here, a chance to start the day off with a double. Again, a 1-game match to determine who moves on to the semifinals. And Dan on the board with back-to-back strikes. Take a look at Marcelo Swartz as he goes through the face and leaves a split. John Perez and Amleto both with spares in the first frame. Live scoring available on Kegel's website. You can find that link on bowl.com. Here's Steve Smith in the second frame. And Steve goes high, leaves a 3-6-10, and trails now by 10 pins in the match. Marcelo Swartz trying to convert the 3-4-6-7-10 split. And he gets it done. Nice split conversion there for the Brazilian. Let's go to John Perez, second frame. And Ernesto Franco up in the second, trailing by 11 against Andres Gomez. Steve Smith with the spare. He's down 10 after 2 frames. Looks like Steve will wait for Amleto to go here in the second. Again, 1-game matches to determine who moves on to the semifinal. Everything today will be 1-game matches. Marcelo Swartz left a 3-6-10 in the second frame. He trails by 3 now. And an open frame for Marcelo in the second. Andres Gomez leading by 11 early on here against Ernesto Franco. And Andres goes up by 21 as we watch Amleto go up by 10 against John Perez. Dan McClellan working on a double, leading by 10, a chance to make it 20 early on. And Dan the Man delivers a third consecutive strike, and he is up by 20 on Steve Smith after 3 frames. Costa Rican Alberto Lozano, second frame, up now. Oh, he breaks up the 4-9 split. And he leads by 14 on the top seed. John Perez leaves the super washout. McClellan trying to stay perfect. And he does. And now is up 30 on Steve Smith. Could be a early exit for Steve Smith at this rate. John Perez trying to convert the super washout. Is a good shot right there. And that will keep him within 10 pins of Monticelli. Smith looking for a double. Trailing by 30, can cut it down to 20. And week 10, he's in some trouble. Lozano gets the double, goes up 24 on Marcelo Swartz. Ernesto Franco. He trails Andres Gomez by 20 pins in the third frame. Marcelo is going to go next. Marcelo down by 24 here in the third frame. Morning to Pilly in the chat. Yes, the women will bowl their quarterfinals next. Amleto leaves the 7-pin. He leads by 9 pins on John Perez. Steve Smith has not doubled yet through 4 frames, and Dan McClellan has the front 4. So the American in some trouble As we approach the halfway point of this one-game match. Ernesto Franco, fourth frame, trailing by 20 against Andres Gomez. McClellan trying to keep it perfect, fifth frame. Pulled it, left just the 4-pin though. Still holds a 29-pin lead. Marcelo with a double, trying to get back in that one against Lozano. Andres Gomez in the fourth, up by 20. Still a 7-pin lead for Amleto. Looks like Dan will go next. Sixth frame, Dan up by 29, working on a spare. Here's Lozano working on a double. Oh, he breaks up the 2-4-5 for the triple. 24-pin lead for the Costa Rican. John Perez a chance to take the lead with a strike right here. Got it. Jumps out to a 3-pin lead on Amleto Monticelli. Steve Smith, chance to cut it to 19 if he can strike right here. And he does. A double for Steve Smith, much needed, as he gets to within 19 of Dan McClellan with 4 frames to go. Lozano, 5th frame, working on 3 in a row. The longest string of strikes in the building right now for the 8th seed. Comes up light, this time leaves the 2-pin. John Perez has jumped out to a 3-pin lead against Amleto now, and a chance to make it 13. And takes down the 6-pin. Big shot here for Steve Smith in the 7th, working on a double. Chance to get within 9. Got it. Good shot by Steve Smith. Amleto now down by 13 against John Perez. 6th frame. And Amleto delivers a strike. McClellan can stretch the lead back to 19 with a strike here in the 7th. He's working on a strike. Can he get the connection? He does not. Almost a 4-9. Leaves just the 4-pin. That's back-to-back 4-pins on that right lane. Fifth frame for Marcelo Swartz coming up. Marcelo working on a double. He can get to within 13 pins with a strike right here. Comes up light, mixes him up, gets the strike. McClellan makes his spare as we were watching Marcelo. Monticelli, big shot here. He's trailing by 13, can cut it to single digits with a strike right here. Now he's down 3. It sounds like I'm talking awfully quiet this morning. It's because it's very quiet in here and I'm very close to the bowlers, so I don't want to disturb them as they take part in this competition here this morning. It's a one-game match. Every shot critical in this short format event. McClelland in the 8th. He's up by 9. Carries it for a strike. John Perez in the 7th. Ooh, look at the 10. It goes backwards for the strike and the 4-bagger. He's up by 13 on Amleto with 3 frames to go. Marcelo Swartz. And sends the messenger across for the strike. Potential lead change opportunity here for Steve Smith. He can take a 1-pin lead with a strike. 8th frame. Doesn't like it. Leaves the 3-pin. So he'll trail by 10 with the spare. His second errant shot on that right lane. Left the 3-6-10 in the second frame. And now a 3-pin in the 8th. John Perez through the face, leaves the split. It's a 2-4-6-7. Steve Smith down 10, 2 frames to go. See if John Perez can make a run at it here. Open frame. And just like that, Amleto now in the lead. Big shot here for Steve Smith, 9th frame, trying to set himself up for the 10th and hope that Dan McClellan gives him a chance. And Steve gets the strike, but Dan will have a chance for the shutout. Here's Ernesto Franco. He's really struggling and looks like he's in a lot of trouble down there, only 75 in the 5th. Alberto Lozano rolls the 2-pin for a strike in the 6th frame. Close match between him and Marcelo Swartz. Amleto working on a double, leading by 5 pins and sends a pin across to take out the 6-10. Marcelo now up by 15. Dan McClellan a chance to extend his lead to 20 heading into the 10th. Oh, he goes through the face and leaves the 4-6-7 split. A potential lead change in the 9th frame. And Dan quickly gets up and fires at it, hoping to bounce something out, and he does not. It's an open in the 9th for Dan McClellan. And now Steve Smith holds a 2-pin lead heading into the 10th frame. What a turn of events in that match. Amleto in the 9th, leading by 15 against John Perez, working on 3 in a row. And he leaves the 10-pin. Again, these are one-game matches. Dan McClellan can strike out for 227. And if he were to do that, that would force Steve Smith to go strike 9 spare in the 10th to win by a single pin. Big shots here for Dan McClellan. Leaves the 10-pin. That means that Steve Smith will only need a mark in the 10th for the win. A mark and count. And Leto converts the 10 pin in the 9th frame. He's up 14 heading into the 10th. Dan converts the 10 to force Steve Smith to mark here in the 10th frame. The count is important, though. See Andres Gomez, we haven't checked in on that match too often because it's not very close. Andres up 41 in the 7th frame. Marcelo in the 7th here, working on 4 in a row. He trails by 3, but a chance to take the lead on this shot. For the lead. Gets the strike. And Marcelo now up by 7 pins. John Perez desperately needs a strike here in the 9th to set himself up for the 10th. Sends a pin across in front of the 7. It doesn't go down, and he's going to trail by 14 going into the 10th. Big fill ball here for Dan McClelland. If he strikes, it will force Steve Smith to go spare 9 in the 10th to win by 1. And Dan does get the strike for 217. Steve Smith up now, 10th frame, needs a mark, any kind of mark, and 9 pins to win the match. And he goes through the face and leaves the 4-6 split. He has struggled on that right lane. 3rd shot this game that he has pulled on that lane, and now he has to find a way to make it. Needs to bounce it out. It does not, and Dan McClelland will win the match 217 to 207. So Dan McClelland moves on. 217-207. John Perez, a strike in the 10th. This one, the next one that will finish up. So congrats to Dan McClelland of Canada as he wins 217-207 and knocks out Steve Smith. So 3 matches still going on. Andres Gomez with a big lead on Ernesto Franco. 41 pin lead for Gomez. Alberto Lozano of Costa Rica up now in the 8th against Marcelo Swartz. Lozano trailing by about 20 pins or so here, with a couple of frames to go. Big shot here for John Perez, trying to put the pressure on Amleto in the 10th. Does not get the 6 pin to go down. He'll shoot 212. And that will not even mean that Amleto has to mark in the 10th. So Amleto will win the match with just good count on his first shot. The women's quarterfinals will be coming up after they re-oil in just a little while. Amleto really needs 9 pins on this shot, and that would be enough to lock up the win. There's a strike. So Amleto will move on against John Perez. Andres Gomez. Strike in the 9th. He's up by 40 on Ernesto Franco. So it looks like Andres will likely move on. Ninth frame for Alberto Lozano. And starting to look like Marcelo Swartz will advance in that one. Amleto going to shoot 226 with the spare. So 226, 212. Amleto defeats John Perez of Puerto Rico. So now we have 2 matches to go. Again, Dan McClellan 217, Steve Smith 207. Open frame for Lozano in the 9th, so he is going to be knocked out here in the quarterfinals against Marcelo Swartz. Ernesto Franco in the 10th frame. He is going to lose to Andres Gomez. Ernesto just throws it away because he's already lost the match. He shoots 172. Andres Gomez already looking at 185 without even throwing another ball. Marcelo Swartz, 9th frame, just closing things out here against Alberto Lozano. Marcelo up by 32 with a spare, heading into the 10th frame. Marcelo misses the 9 pin. Still has a 21 pin lead going into the 10th frame, though. He'll just need a mark now for the shutout. Well, yeah, a mark for the shutout. 9 pins on 2 shots would guarantee him at least a tie, so. Now Marcelo has a little bit more work to do here in the 10th frame after missing that 9 pin. Very quiet here at the Kegel Training Center this morning. Could hear a pin drop in this place right now. Just needs a mark and gets 8, so he's lucky he didn't split there. And he will need to make the spare to secure the shutout. Again, the women's quarterfinals will be coming up in the next round. They will bring out the lane machine and re-oil, so there will be a break. Marcelo makes the spare, and that's a winner. Andres Gomez now is going to finish up. He let the drama unfold next to him. Andres is going to shoot 224 and defeat Ernesto Franco as Marcelo finishes out his win against Alberto Lozano. .223 for Marcelo Swartz. So our winners here in the opening round of men's individual masters: Andres Gomez, Marcelo Swartz, and Leto Monticelli and Dan McClelland. So Alberto Lozano will just finish up here the 10th frame. And we will wait for the start of the women's quarterfinals. So one more shot to go here in the men's quarters. Recap the scores for you. Andres Gomez defeats Ernesto Franco 224 to 172. And Leto Monticelli defeats John Perez 226 to 212. Dan McClellan beats Steve Smith 217 to 207. And Marcelo Swartz 223. Alberto Lozano, one more ball to go, but if he strikes, he'll shoot 212. The women's quarterfinals will begin momentarily, so sit tight. They're going to run the lanes, and then we'll get underway with the women's matches. 223-211, the final score. Swartz defeats Lozano. Back in just a few minutes here as they come out and run the lanes, and then we'll get started with the women's quarters.
PABCON, they did a very good job. They no, but here also they went out of the like the first time in life as a whole chapel upstairs. That was awesome. Very strange. Yes. Yes, we said 5 minutes.
Practice just starting to wrap up here at the PABCON Champion of Champions. The women's quarterfinals about to get underway. These will be one-game matches to determine who moves on. Everything today is a one-game match. And your matchups in this quarterfinal round, Paula Gomez versus Azeret Zetter, so Colombia versus Mexico. Elise Johnson of the United States versus Neshka Cardona of Puerto Rico. We've got Sofia Granda of Guatemala and Aruba's Thashena Siros. And final match, Almi Guerra of the Dominican Republic against Karen Marcano of Venezuela. To wrap up the final minutes of practice before we get underway with these one-game matches. The men's matches were conducted in the first round this morning. Andres Gomez defeated Ernesto Franco of Mexico 224 to 172. Marcelo Swartz defeated Alberto Lozano 223 to 211. And Milano Monticelli defeated John Perez 226 to 212. And Dan McClellan defeated Steve Smith 217 to 207. 1 minute left in practice before we get underway with the women's singles quarterfinals here in the Masters competition. Once this round ends, after this one-game round, they will re-oil again and bring the men and the women back out for the semifinals. They will all bowl at the same time. That'll be followed by yet another re-oil, and then the mixed doubles quarterfinals. And the mixed doubles semifinals. There's the whistle. We're about to get underway with the quarterfinals and the women's individual singles. You're watching our live coverage of the PABCON Champion of Champions here on Bowl TV. Lucas Wiseman here with you as we get started with this next round of matches. Getting the scoreboards turned on here, and then we'll have the first shots coming up. Yeah, we ran down the men's results just a few minutes ago, but we'll tell you who won again here. Andres Gomez defeated Ernesto Franco. Marcelo Swartz beat Alberto Lozano. And Milano Monticelli defeated John Perez. And Dan McClellan defeated Steve Smith. They're just trying to get the scoreboards on here, and then we'll get underway. Looks like they're all up now, and we're ready to go. Again, the matchups here in the women's quarterfinals. Paula Gomez versus Ezrat Zetter. Liz Johnson versus Neshka Cardona. Sofia Granda versus Thashena Siras. Ali Guerra versus Karen Marcano. We'll kind of jump around and try to show you all 4 matches as they're going along and focus on the ones that are close as we head down the stretch. You can see Liz Johnson gearing up. Looks like she's going to be ready to go. Excuse me. Liz going to start things off. Liz gets started with a strike. Again, the left lane is the medium pattern, Montreal. The right lane, the short pattern, and that's Beijing. Karen Marcano, first frame for Venezuela. Here's Siras from Aruba. First frame against Sofia Granda. And Thashena crosses over, leaves baby split. Neshka Cardona, that one's a little right. Lucky to just leave the 2-pin on that shot. She'll have an easy spare attempt coming up in the first frame. Open frame for the Aruban in the first. Here's Almigata shooting a 7-pin. Open frame for Almi. Sofia Granda, first frame. Three, 6, 10. Spare, and she'll have a 12-pin lead after just 1 frame. Almi rebounds from the open and delivers a strike. Down by 11. Second frame for Neshka. Crosses over, leaves the 5, 9. Open frame for Sofia, so we're tied after the first frame in that match. Cardona makes the spare. Here's Marcano. Leaves the 4-pin. She leads by 11. Paula Gomez, second frame. And Paola with back-to-back strikes to open up that match. Liz Johnson. Ezrat Zetter, second frame, down by 10 against Gomez. Liz Johnson, third frame, trying to stay perfect. She leads by 12. And Liz, 3 in a row, goes up by 22 early on here against Cardona. Marcano leads Guetta by 11 pins, third frame. And Marcano with a strike in the third. Here's Azarette in the third, trying to even things up with Gomez. Cardona on the board with a strike in the third frame. She's down by 22. Cardona looking for a double here against Johnson. Leaves the 10 pin. Cirrus trying to make the 210 and gets it done. Nice spare there for the Aruman. And Almy makes her 7 pin this time. Cardona has not doubled through 4 frames, and Liz Johnson has started with 3 strikes in a row, so some early trouble for the Puerto Rican. Sofia Granda with a 3-6-10 again on the right lane. Again, the right lane is the short pattern, the left lane is the medium pattern. Almy with a strike in the fourth. She's still down by 11. Here's Liz. Another strike for Liz, front 4. Paola Gomez with 3 in a row to start this game, looking for another one. And she also starts with the front 4 against Azarette Zetter. Liz Johnson up on the approach, looking to keep it going here in the quarterfinal match against Neshka Cardona with the front 4, trying to turn it into the front 5, and she does. So Liz Johnson in cruise control here in this opening round match against Neshka Cardona. Sofia Granda has opened in the first and the third frames and struck in the second and the fourth now. And she trails by 12. Here's Azarette in the fourth. She gets a strike, but she's in some trouble down there as Gomez has the front 4 against her. Cardona through the face leaves the 3 pin. Marcano with the spare. She still is ahead by 11 pins. Azarette looking for her first double of the game. Got it. Marcano. She is leading Almiguera by 11 pins as we reach the 5th frame. Well, looks like Almi will go next, so we'll flip over to her. She has a chance to strike here in the 5th for a double. That would cut her deficit to 1 pin. But Almi misses the head pin right and leaves the 1-2. Here's Gomez with the front 4. Through the face leaves the 6-10, and that will end the string of strikes for Paola. She leads by 18. Strike for the Aruban. She leads by 9 against Sofia. Here's Liz, 5 in a row to start this game. Gets another one. Front 6 for Liz Johnson. And she is rolling along here in the quarterfinal match against Neshka Cardona. Gomez, 6th frame. Another good shot from her. She's up by 18 on Azeret Zetter. Here's Liz Johnson with the front 6. Liz strikes again. She's ahead by 54, make it 64 pins in the match. Granda sends a pin rolling on the deck, but it does have enough energy to take out the 10. It didn't look like it was going to, but it does strike. Azeret, 6th frame, working on a double. Gets another one. So she's narrowing the gap here against Gomez. Down to an 8-pin lead for Paola. You can see Karen there making her spare. Neshka, spare in the 7th, but getting close to being over in that one against Liz Johnson as Liz has the front 7. Sofia Granda has strung together 3 strikes in a row, but now Saris has doubled here, so things very close. A 1-pin lead for Sofia Granda. Looks like Azeret will be the next to go. She trails by 8, a chance to take a 2-pin lead if she strikes right here. It's a Greek church split. Marcano still hanging on to the lead by 10 pins. Nishka finds a strike in the 8th, but it's almost over there already. Saris to take the lead back here. It's going to cross over and leave a 5-pin. Liz Johnson now 7 strikes in a row, trying to stay perfect in the 8th frame. Comes up light and carries it for the front 8. Gomez hoping to put things away here against Azeret Zetter after Zetter opened in the 7th. And Gomez delivers a great shot for a double. Gomez now up by 37 in that one. Watching our live coverage of the PABCON Champion of Champions, I'm Lucas Wiseman. Thanks for joining us here on Bowl TV today as we watch Liz Johnson with 8 strikes in a row. Make it the front 9 for Liz Johnson. Paola with a 10-pin lead. Neshka up on the approach here. In the 9th, Liz Johnson stealing the show here in the first round. She has the front 9 against Neshka Cardona. So Liz Johnson is going to advance. Just a matter of what her final score will be. Sofia Grande with 4 in a row. Leaves the 10-pin. She leads Saris by 11. Here's Almiguera in the 8th frame. She still trails by 10 pins against Karen Marcano. And a split for Almi. The 3-4-6-7. Liz Johnson will be up momentarily. I've had a couple of people who have made it this far and gotten the front 9, but nobody has been able to finish it off for a 300. Here's Almi. Open frame, so she's in a lot of trouble down there against Karen Marcano now. Here's Azeret in the 8th, down 36. Gets a strike. Azeret hoping to mount a comeback. Again, Liz Johnson going to be up in just another minute or two here with the front 9 in this quarterfinal match of the Champion of Champions Women's Individual Masters. Neshka with a strike on the fill. Liz Johnson There she is. She is about to go here at the Kegel Training Center. Liz with 9 strikes in a row to start this game. Liz gets another one. Front 10 for Liz Johnson. None of our matches are very close here this game. Gomez looks like she will probably defeat Zetter. Johnson's already defeated Cardona here. Granda up by 26 on Cirrus, and Karen Marcano leads Almiguera by 27. So the question is, can Liz Johnson finish it out for a perfect game? Front 10. Got another one. She's the first player this week to get the front 11. We are live at the PABCON Champion of Champions event here at the Kegel Training Center. Team USA's Liz Johnson, the first player this week to get the front 11. She's made 11 absolutely perfect shots here in this quarterfinal matchup. And she is 1 strike away from a perfect game. Here we go, Liz Johnson, a chance for 300. Comes up light, 298 for Liz Johnson. 298, so close. Just did come up a little bit light here. So congratulations to Liz on moving on to the semifinals. She defeats Neshka Cardona 298 to 190. Paula Gomez will advance against Azarette Zetter. Paula just marked in the 10th frame. Again, the men's and women's semifinals will be coming up next as we watch Almiguera in the 10th. Almi leaves the 10 pin, and that will seal her fate. Karen Marcano will win that matchup. This one's still a little bit in doubt here. Sofia Granda needs a double to shut out Cirrus. Sends the messenger across the deck and takes the first one. Azarette Zetter just finishing up. Paula Gomez 237. Azarette can strike out for 231, so this one's over. So Azarette will have one of the top losing scores we've seen today of the men's or women's division. Almi with a washout on the fill. She shoots 178, or 168, my apologies. 168 for Almiguera. It's not going to be enough to win. Here's Sofia Granda for the knockout punch. Not going to get to the pocket. And Thashena Cirrus will have a chance to strike out and win the match. So a 298 game by Liz Johnson. She leaves the 2-4. The only drama is going to be in this matchup between Guatemala and Aruba. Spare's good for 192 for Sofia Granda. Thashana can strike out for 199. So this is the only match that has any drama here. Must-strike situation here for the Aruban. Needs the first two in the 10th to win the match. And the 10-pin stays up. Oh, got tickled a little bit, but it's going to be a win for Sofia Granda. Karen Marcano defeats Almiguera 196 to 168. As Thashana misses the 10-pin, Sofia Granda wins 192 to 167. So now we will wait for the start of the semifinals here at the PABCON Champion of Champions. They'll bring out the machines again and run the lanes. So it'll be a few minutes before we get started with the next round of matches. So we're going to send you to a commercial break for a few minutes here, but we will be back with the start of the semifinals.
It's a chance to make their mark. Last year, more than 70 college hopefuls packed into the International Training and Research Center, all hoping to impress the gathering of top coaches who came to assess their talent.
I definitely am learning a lot. It's just great to be able to actually see my speed and know for sure where exactly my ball exited the pattern and what my entry angle was. All of that's great. It's just great knowledge to have.
I thought that this was a great experience for everybody in high school, you know, that wants to bowl in college. It measures everything pretty much that goes on. This is going to make everybody so much better because they're going to know what they have to work on when they go home to get better.
There will certainly be enough data. The bowling combine for college prospects puts these kids through the paces, from athleticism to spare shooting, shot repetition to personality testing. The ITRC is a one-stop shop.
Well, I think the facility matters a lot because you're going to get collection of data from computer-aided tracking information for shot repeatability and speed control. Also having the videos, when we see the data collection, we're going to get a good idea of the holistic picture, the whole complete. I think it's a great concept.
If they had it every other month, I'd probably be here every other month if I knew there were going to be different kids here, because this does allow us a big opportunity to see all these talented kids in one place under different conditions, where in other situations you go and you see them at one tournament and you can't turn around and go back out to another place to see them again. So I think this is awesome. This is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for the coaches and for the athletes.
It's a chance for colleges to choose kids and for kids to choose a college. Both sides are looking for that right fit, and it may not necessarily be about who knocks down the most pins.
The number one thing we look for is potential. We're looking for somebody with strong academics as well as potential for bowling. Doesn't mean that they're great at the moment, but we're looking for key components that will lead them in the future with training to be the best that they could be.
To find out more about future programs and how you can get involved, simply go to bowl.com/combine.
You really have to hone in on a specific spot and be accurate time after time. It's also very valuable in working with the high school kids that we do and coaching them, trying to get them to be a lot more accurate. So learning to read the lanes, what your ball is doing and what a ball can do is what I'm really trying to work on and really trying to learn.
What would you say to someone who's considering going out and trying sport condition? I mean, it can be frustrating at first.
It can be very frustrating, but it's one of those things, if you want to get better and you really want to see what potential you have, it's a great thing to do. I encourage a lot of people to go out there. Actually have my daughters bowling on sport patterns just to get away from house patterns. It does expose pieces in your game, and you miss a board right, board left, and you pay for it. So, working on that accuracy is really valuable.
Bowl TV has a new address. All of the video features, coaching tips, and live events you've been watching for years are still available on bowl.com, but now there's a new YouTube home for all things bowling. Bowl TV has its own channel, and it's so easy to find. YouTube.com/BowlTV. That's it. And you never know what you'll see. If you've previously been following us on the Grow the Sport channel, it will still be there, but very soon all new videos will only be available on the Bowl TV channel. So please take the time to subscribe today. That way you'll be among the first to know as soon as a new video is posted or a live event gets underway. There are big things happening on Bowl TV. Don't miss a minute. Click on subscribe and let the good times roll.
The United States Bowling Congress is shaping the future of bowling, helping kids learn the sport the right way and awarding thousands of scholarships every year. USBC supports Special Olympics and America's Best when they go for the gold as the home and heart of Team USA. We're reaching for new heights in research, raising the bar with spectacular national tournaments, and have raised millions of dollars to help fight cancer and support veterans. Visit bowl.com to learn more.
My teammates, we all were looking for another challenge to make our game a little bit better, and the Sport League was the first step in doing so. So we tried it. We found the flaws in our game, and when you go on a house shot, you do pretty well, and you think you're a good bowler, and then you go on a tougher condition, and it really brings you back down to earth, and you have to work on some things.
How has the sport bowling experience helped you with tournament play and competitive play? Because when you get out somewhere where there's a different pattern, you feel like you probably have a little bit of advantage.
Sure, experience is the key. So, having the sport, understanding that there are different patterns and different ways to play the pattern. Now, when you go to a tournament, if you're one-dimensional, you're finished. But if you have an idea of, I can move here, change ball, rotation, all these other factors, now you have a little bit better arm to face that condition.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Great
And we are getting ready to get underway with the semifinals here of the individual Masters. The men and the women will be bowling at the same time now. Matchups are Andres Gomez versus Marcelo Swartz down on lanes 5 and 6. Also, Amleto Monticelli versus Dan McClellan on lanes 7 and 8. On lanes 9 and 10, it's going to be Paola Gomez against Karen Marcano. And on 11 and 12, Liz Johnson versus Sofia Granda. About to get underway here. Scoreboards are ready to go, and the players are ready to step up and get this thing underway. Watching live coverage on Bowl TV of the PABCON Champion of Champions. I'm Lucas Wiseman. Thanks for joining us here this morning. Liz Johnson starts off with a strike. For those of you on Twitter, be sure to follow USBC on Twitter, twitter.com/USBC. You can also follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Lucas_Wiseman. Dan McClellan, first frame, starts off with a strike against Amleto. Here's Sofia Granda in the first. And she delivers a strike to match the one put on the board by Liz Johnson. This is a one-game match. One and done. All rounds today are just one-game matches. Marcelo Swartz, first frame against Andres Gomez. There will be a break after this round for lunch, and then the mixed doubles quarterfinals and semifinals will take place, and then we will have the finals of all three events later on this afternoon. Granda with a double to start against Liz Johnson. Here's Andres Gomez in the first frame. Again, the right lane has the short pattern, the left lane has the medium pattern. Paola Gomez of Colombia leaves the 4-7. Here's Liz Johnson trying to match the double by Sofia Granda. This could be a real tight matchup. Liz shreds the deck. And Leto with a 10-pin. Just getting settled into these one-game matches right now here in the semifinals. Everybody has now wrapped up the first frame. Liz Johnson and Sofia Granda both have started with a double, and they are in the third frame already. No surprise, both players work pretty fast, and they'll probably be the first match done. Liz splits the 8-9 right in half for the front three. Gomez, washout. Andres did get the 10 out on that shot, though. So we take a look at Sofia Granda in the third frame, trying to keep pace with Liz Johnson. Didn't like it. Way right, misses the head pin, leaves the 1-2. Karen Marcano, second frame. Andres Gomez misses that spare, by the way. Marcano trails by 2. Sofia Granda trying to convert the 1-2, and she does. Here's Dan McClelland. 3 in a row to start for Dan. He is out to a 20-pin lead on Amleto. Here's Marcelo Swartz in the second, trying to take advantage of that open frame by Andres in the second frame. Marcelo trips the 4 out to start with a double. Amleto sends a messenger across the deck to take down the 10-pin. Here's Sofia trying to get back on track, and she does with a strike in the 4th. Third frame for Swartz, trying to stay perfect. This time the 4 does not go down. Karen Marcano trailing by 2 pins after 2 frames against Paola Gomez. That's a good shot. Here's Liz Johnson trying to make it the front 4. Another strike for LJ. She is really throwing the ball well so far here today. Liz with 298 in her quarterfinal win against Neshka Cardona of Puerto Rico. Paola Gomez a chance to jump out to a 12-pin lead here. Needs to hook, and it does for the strike. Here's Liz. 4 in a row to start this game. Trying to make it 5. Another perfect shot for LJ. Front 5. Andres back on track after the open in the second with a strike. He trails by 23. Dan McClellan, front 3. Make it 4. Sofia Granda stepping up now in the 5th. You know, she's got to be thinking she might be in some trouble here, considering that Liz just got done shooting 298 in the last round, and they started with the front 5. Granda, though, has started double 8 spare doubles, so she's not doing too bad, but she trails. Well, she trails by 22. You can see Paola Gomez off in the distance there with her 3rd consecutive strike as she jumps out to a 22-pin lead on Karen Marcano. Dan McClellan, front 4, trying to extend the string. Looks good. Another one for Dan. Here's Sofia looking for 3 in a row, trying to cut into that deficit a little bit against Liz Johnson. This one does not come up into the pocket, leaves the 2-10 split. That is big trouble for the Guatemalan. Andres Gomez delivers a double. to pull to within 13 against Marcelo. Here's Karen in the fourth. 4-pin. She trails by 22. Amleto. Strike in the fifth frame. See if Sophia can make a run at the 210 here. She does not make it. It is an open frame, and she falls into a pretty big hole here at the halfway point of the match. It's about a 40-pin lead for Liz Johnson here. Halfway point of the match is Liz with the front six, just absolutely steamrolling the field thus far in match play. We are live from the PABCON Champion of Champions at the Kegel Training Center. Lucas Wiseman here with you. The men's and women's individual masters semifinals. Marcelo Swartz of Brazil looking for a double. 7-pin, but it goes down very late. Liz Johnson on the approach, front six. Can she keep the string alive like she did in the first game today? She does. Front seven for LJ. Dan McClellan with the front six. Andres Gomez, fifth frame. Working on a double. Trails by 24 pins now. You can see Sophia Granda left a super washout here in the seventh, so certainly is looking like Liz Johnson will advance to the championship. Dan McClellan keeps it going, front seven for the Canadian. Well, Sophia does make the spare. Paola Gomez, fifth frame, working on three in a row. Spare, strike, strike, strike for Paola so far this game. That's way right, and will not get back to the head pin. She leads by 20 against Karen Marcano. Here's Amleto. In the seventh, really a must-strike situation the rest of the way for Amleto. Yep, goes through the face, leaves the 3-6, and he's in a lot of trouble since Dan has the front six. Sorry, front seven. Sophia striking the eighth. Just not going to be enough for her. As we take a look at Paola making the 1-2-4. Andres Gomez in the sixth. Here's Liz Johnson. Front seven for Liz. Trying to turn it into a front eight. Oh, 4-pin. Almost left the 4-9. But another great run of strikes by Liz Johnson. She leads by 55. See if if Liz can convert the spare here. Up 55 with 2 frames to go. Liz on her way to the championship match in the women's singles. Take a look at Paola Gomez. She leaves the 2-pin. Want to make sure we get you the shot of Dan McClellan when he gets up as Marcelo strikes again. Liz, 9th frame. Strike. Here's Dan the man with the front 7. Dan in control here against Amleto. Oh, blowout 7. Ends the run of strikes, but Dan's still in the driver's seat, up by 51 pins against Amleto. Marcelo Swartz, 7th frame, leading by 36. Whoa, carries it for another strike. Marcano unable to put any strikes on the board here. Only 1 strike in 6 frames. She trails by 20 against Paola. Here's Dan McClellan. Strike in the 9th, and that's going to virtually lock up the win for Dan. Sophia can shoot 234, but not going to be enough here against Liz Johnson. Liz already in the 240s, even with an open frame in the 10th. Andres Gomez in a must-strike situation the rest of the way if he wants to beat Marcelo Swartz. Most of our matches not very close here in these semifinals. Sophia is going to put up a game in the 230s. It's just not going to be enough to take down Liz Johnson. This is our closest match right now. Marcano trailing Gomez by 20 with 4 frames to go. Leaves the 2-pin. Karen's going to have to find a way to throw some strikes down the stretch here if she wants to win the match. Liz Johnson just finishing up here. Liz will advance to the Women's Individual Masters Championship match, taking on either Paola Gomez or Karen Marcano. Marcelo Swartz trying to maintain his lead here, and another messenger comes across and takes out the 10. It's 5 in a row for Marcelo. And he is on the cusp of the championship match. Dan McClellan will be in the championship match for the men. He defeats Amleto Monticelli. Paola gets a strike in the 7th. So she's up by 21. Liz's final shot for 258. She wins 258 to 234 over Sofia Granda. Amleto finishes with 217. Dan McClellan is going to be in the 250s at least. Marcelo still up in this match by 34. Messenger misses on that one. Paula Gomez trying for a double, does not get it. Still ahead by 21 though. Dan McClellan finishing out his win against Amleto. Very important 10-pin here from Marcelo. He makes it. Gomez with the spare to maintain the lead. Dan McClellan still has a couple more shots to go. Here's the situation for Andres Gomez. He can strike out in the 9th and the 10th for 245. That would force Marcelo Schwartz to go 9 spare 9 in the 10th to win by 1. So Andres gets the first one there. So he strikes in the 9th. He's going to need 3 more in the 10th frame to put any pressure on Marcelo. McClellan, 279. 279, 217. Dan McClellan defeats Amleto Monticelli. You can see that Karen Marcano left a 2-5 in the 8th. She's just quite simply running out of frames. Karen has been clean, but has been unable to really throw many strikes. So Liz Johnson in the women's championship match, Dan McClellan in the men's championship match, and still determining who will join them. If Andres Gomez does not strike, it will be Marcelo Schwartz. And Andres gets another one. So he keeps his hopes alive. Marcano almost in a must-strike situation here in the 9th frame, trailing by 23 with 2 frames to go, and that's way right. And it's a washout, the 1-2-10. Huge shot here for Andres Gomez. He must strike here to force Marcelo Schwartz to mark with good count in the 10th. Has to have it. Gets it. It's going to put some pressure on Marcelo in the 10th. Karen has to make the spare to have any chance. Not going to get it. Oh, but it comes from behind. Got a little lucky on that one. Keeps her faint hopes alive. Forces Paola to get 1 mark in the final 2 frames with good count. Big fill shot here for Andres Gomez. Needs all 10. Gets it. Andres throws the last 7 for 245. And Marcelo Schwartz will need 9 spare 9 to win by 1. Andres' sister, Paola, comes up light, very lucky To get the 10 out there leaves just the 2. A mark here would all but lock up the win for Paola. So here we go. This one tightened up down the stretch as Andres Gomez threw the back 7. Marcelo Swartz needs 9 spare 9 here in the 10th frame to win by 1. Needs at least 9. It's way right. It comes back, but it leaves the bucket. He gets 6. And guess what? That is a loss. Marcelo Swartz loses. The 6 count means he can only shoot 244. Andres Gomez shot 245, so just like that, Andres Gomez has advanced to the final. What a turn of events in the final frame. Marcelo got the ball wide and left to the bucket. Marcelo's been so good all week and had been cruising along here. One errant shot in the game is what's going to cost him. So it'll be Andres Gomez versus Dan McClelland for the men's individual title. Andres' sister, Paola, just needs a good count here to shut out Karen Marcano. That should do it. It's enough for Paola. Final shot for Marcelo. He shoots 244, but it's not enough. He comes up 1 pin short. Andres Gomez 245, Marcelo Swartz 244. So it'll be Colombia versus Canada for the men's final and Colombia versus the United States in the women's final. Now there will be a break here before we get started with the mixed doubles quarterfinals and semifinals, and then all of the finals will take place together this afternoon. Paola Gomez, 213. Karen Marcano will step up here in the 10th frame. She can only shoot 170, so this is mathematically over. $176 for Marcano as Paola Gomez wins it. Just a recap. Andres Gomez 245, Marcelo Swartz 244. Dan McClelland 279 to 217 over Amleto Monticelli. So Gomez versus McClelland for the men's individual masters title. Paola Gomez of Colombia defeats Venezuela's Karen Marcano 213 to 176, and Liz Johnson knocks out Sofia Granda of Guatemala 258 to 234 to set up a Gomez versus Johnson women's individual title match. So we will take a break here, wait for the mixed doubles quarterfinals to get started a little bit later. Should be probably about an hour. I'll check on the exact timing and we'll let you know. So stick around. We'll be back in a little bit. Just got word that they will start at 12:30, so an hour and 20-minute break till we get started with the mixed doubles, quarterfinals and semifinals. So be sure to come back in an hour and 20 minutes at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the start of the mixed doubles. So we will step away, and the broadcast will resume at 12:30. See you guys back here in about an hour and 17 minutes on Bowl TV.